Hello everyone, welcome back to the Oasis.
The entertainment Oasis.
We've got another topic.
Yes.
Another one. You can't get rid of us. You just can't.
You can't. You can. You can turn off this video, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, please don't.
But what I wanted to talk about was
let's talk about
game console releases and all the craziness that we have come to expect every single time there is a new console that hits the market. It's madness. We saw it with the PlayStation 3, 360, PlayStation 2, Xbox, the Wii. Oh man, I worked at Target when the Wii came out. Holy Jesus.
I'm actually needing another sip for this one.
Yeah, it's bonkers the stuff that happens around video game release time. One of the things that's the most common one is people, and I honestly don't get the point of this. So people get their consoles, they get the pre-orders or whatever, or they already have them, can't find them anywhere, and then people are willing to shell out thousands of dollars to get that console. And it's like, I just can't wrap my head around why not wait until the fresh batch of consoles comes out. Why spend 2 times or even 3 times what the console is worth just to be able to say, oh, I have it on launch day, or oh, I have it when no one else has it, when it's only going to be a case for like a month or 2, then the next wave hits, and I always saw it as a pointless purchase. Just wait. Then you have all these people buying them up and putting them on eBay, and it's
for ridiculous prices.
And people actually buy them. I mean, good for them, good for the people that are reselling. But that mindset of I need to get this console right now. It's like self-control, people. Self-control.
No, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, and we've talked about this before, how gaming has just become so big. And with the youth, you don't want to be the one that's fallen behind. Among your friends group, like let's say you're anticipating this launch, and then like a popular game's coming with it, and say some of your friends did get a hold of it, and they're basically getting ahead of you, like way ahead of you. And maybe
I don't know what kind of friends you had.
My
friends, we were like, oh, you got it, yeah, let's go to your house and play. That's what I had.
Okay, the thing is though, that was back in our time. Gaming has become like this monster now. You know what I mean? And I think like it's become so mainstream to the point where these consoles, I think, they're getting more and more competitive to buy when they first come out. Because yes, when the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 3 came out, I don't remember people having this much of a hard time getting it as as much as like the Switch now and the PlayStation 4 now. I would like
to think so.
I don't know.
It happens every year. Like they all get bought up. No one can find them. And the Wii was a very good example. When I worked at Target and the Wii first came out, we would have people show up, and with like each family member would, because at that point it's like 1 Wii per transaction. But of course they bring the whole family, and each person like buys a Wii, and so one person can end up taking the whole stock of Wiis. And this was what, like 3 generations ago, 3 video game generations
for the Wii
consoles.
The Wii was supposed to be on par with the PlayStation 3, right?
I think so. No, like maybe the 2. I don't know, but it's crazy. Like I saw it firsthand happen back then. People went crazy for it. It was, it would be out of stock for a month,
for only
maybe a couple of
month.
weeks. Then we get a new stock, and more people would buy. And then eventually, by like month 3 or 4, everything kind of like evened out.
Oh, but not this time though. Not with the Switch.
Well, the Switch is different though. The Switch.
How is it different?
The only reason why the Switch sold out wasn't because it's launch time and everybody needs to get their hand on the Switch. No, the only reason why the Switch has been out for months is due to the pandemic. And
that's not necessarily true because the
okay,
Switch
tell
had,
me this.
The Switch had sales like what back in 2018, all
Yeah,
of
but
2019.
are you telling me that prior to the pandemic, you couldn't find any Switch at a Walmart or a Target?
Many of the times, no.
I don't know what kind of places you went to, and you guys can back me up if you saw them, but I remember seeing like Wii's available anywhere. In the moment...
Wait, you mean Switches?
There you go, Switches.
Oh, okay.
And the moment the pandemic hit, that's when all... Because I would assume, and I'm pretty sure the people, maybe someone might have already stated it, but bless you.
Excuse me.
But I imagine that the reason why it sold is, okay, well, now there's a pandemic, cities are going on lockdown, people are going to want something to do. The Switch was the go-to console, so that's when they started getting bought up, and that's when you started to see them for like $500, $400. And it's just, what are the chances that...
But I do remember, like, because what year did the Switch come out? Was it 2018?
I would like to think so.
I do remember them being sold out for a long time, like way before the pandemic, though.
Just like any console, like the
But
first
no, but-
2-3 months.
This one was to the point where like the Switch couldn't keep up with like the demand for months.
I will say this: I bought my Switch pre-pandemic, and Walmart had them on special. And when I got there, I mean, I wasn't like, my Switch wasn't the last one there. I mean, they still had a good amount of them.
But this was back in 2019.
19? Towards the end of 2019.
Probably okay. Well, I don't know. I just know that the Switch has been in hot demand and was in hot demand way before the pandemic.
I don't know. And the good thing is though,
and they had trouble like meeting the demand for sure.
One of the things I noticed is now that the release for the PS5 and the Xbox are out, now you're actually starting to see Switches in stock. It's like everybody's already moved on to the next console, which is cool for those people who were dying to get a Switch. Yeah. But I still...
Me included.
That's one of the other things I hate about console releases is the fact that, like, I wouldn't mind it as much if they're sold out because people genuinely, like, wanted the item for themselves. Mm-hmm. The thing I hate is when they're sold out for not by people who want the console, but people who just want to make a profit off the console by selling it to someone else. I mean, good for you, but I don't know. It happens. It happens. You know, it's how people make a living sometimes. I don't know, man. It gets to me sometimes, especially maybe around the holiday season when kids like genuinely want the.
I know people are buying it for the purpose of ripping somebody off, basically.
And it's not like I get mad because people like you or me can't have them. It's like, you know, like we were kids once. You know, we were both like 13, 14 at one point. So the console I wanted when I was a kid was a Nintendo 64, which I got. So, and I don't know, just to think that there'll be kids out there who maybe for Christmas they won't be able to, you know, if their parents could afford it, they won't be able to get it.
Just because some a-hole wanted to buy it and make money by like price gouging it. Yeah, that is pretty shitty.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to call them an a-hole, maybe just inconsiderate. Because I get it, you know. I mean,
they're buying it to make more money.
Yeah, and I get it, you know. Try to get a win anywhere you can, but just I just hate that it affects, like, you know.
Yeah.
That like my childhood me would be kind of sad if, you know, if I was going through it. I don't know. Yeah. Does that even make sense?
I mean, one thing I will say that like I probably am wrong about that whole. I mean, I never worked at Target like you, so you probably saw it firsthand when, say, like the Wii was coming out, you know, and you saw firsthand like how people went crazy over it. And I've never been the type to really rush to buy a console. Never been that type. I've always minded just kind of waiting. So to me, it probably seems like I wasn't that bad back then. But I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it was just more crazy than I remember. Yeah. Because I wasn't one of those people. But going back to people rushing to buy the new console. What I don't like that, like, I guess companies have been doing now is they release their console and then like a year down the line they release a version that is sometimes vastly superior to the one that they released initially. And I just feel like it's just a tactic for them to make money off a second wave of of their system. They could have done it the first time, but of course they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm starting, I mean, because people want to trade in their old one to get the new one, right? But they're going to get nowhere near as much back for what they paid for it, for this new one. And of course, that's the whole idea behind it. But it's kind of a turnoff. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a turnoff, and it's slowly starting to make me gravitate more towards PC. Not gonna lie, it kind of is.
I mean, I guess Xbox, as much as I like them, I think they're the ones that are the most guilty of it. You had the 360, and was it the 360 Elite? You had the Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X.
Oh, you forgot about the Xbox 360 Connect. That was after the Elite.
Yeah, and now Switch is gonna do, like, Nintendo's gonna do the same thing with the Switch Pro.
Yeah, PlayStation did it.
PlayStation Pro. It's just, I don't know. It just makes me like. I feel like every time there's a console release, I feel like I gotta wait a bit.
Yeah, for the superior version, basically.
And it's a good thing I didn't buy the Xbox One X, because I was leaning towards it. Then I was reading reports that the newer Xbox was gonna come out like the following year, and I'm like,
why the hell am I gonna get this one then?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it can go back to my other argument saying that like people don't want to fall behind on certain games that their friends may already be playing, and you know, once you join in, it's like, oh, you're late to the party. We're not really playing that anymore. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think these video game companies are starting to see that people are not liking this, and I heard that was it the PlayStation? Now it's I think they're starting to come back with an external
memory
hard drive. Yeah, I heard that you can swap out like its hard drive for like one that has more memory, because I think that was the biggest thing, was that the console, the next version that would come out, has a lot more memory for you to store games, you know, and that got introduced with the PlayStation 3, I want to say, where you had to install the entire game onto the system. And now people notice like, oh, that can cause people to buy more memory, or force them to buy, you know, larger memory spaces, or it gives them an incentive to buy our new an improved system that'll come out a year later with more memory. It gives people more of an incentive to want that new one.
Yeah.
But now I think maybe people are starting to see it as like, okay, it's just a money grab. And now they're like, okay, we'll give you the external option. We'll give you the option to swap out the, you know, the insufficient memory hard drive for the new one.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole year is gonna be interesting to watch. I'm eager to see how November 12th, or I think it's November 12th when the PlayStation comes out. I'm just eager to see how the launches go. Pretty sure we're gonna hear some really horrible stories.
Yeah. I mean, I got my Switch. I got my PC. I don't think I'm gonna buy the new Xbox or PlayStation anytime soon, quite honestly.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, there's always some sort of like weird, or not weird, but just like, what do you call those incidents where you're like, what in the world? Like, what are you thinking?
What do you mean?
So, you know, what was this? When the PlayStation 3 came out, I think there was someone who, you know, there were fights that would break out, especially like I guess back then, I'm not too sure how big pre-orders were, but when people were in line to like, okay, I wanna go get the console, you know, there would be all these fights that broke out and all this crap just because people, like, maybe someone cut in line, which I guess fair, you know, you cut in line, what are you gonna expect? But it's just all these incidents that kind of remind you of Black Friday and the craziness that comes with it.
Black Friday.
But I guess now with pre-orders, you know, you're guaranteed your console, so I'm not sure if there will be too much of that. Since you already paid for it, you technically don't have to wait in line with someone else to get it. I don't know. I'm eager to see how this launch goes for both Xbox and the PlayStation. I wonder how many people are going to get their orders canceled if they haven't already. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see all the chaos that comes around.
I think you're a little too happy and excited about this.
I am. It's like Christmas. It's like waking up, going to YouTube, and it's like, oh God, like, But it also gets me like in that mindset of like, what are we becoming?
Yeah. Mm.
Fun times.
It also, of course, doesn't help that the pandemic numbers are still bad, especially in the United States, and I think people want to get a new system that much more, like to that's something else for them to do, like, oh, a new system, new games, new graphics, you know. And so we might very well see a lot of craziness because of that. It's like there's not much to do while I'm still kind of locked down at home. I want this new system more than ever.
And to what you just mentioned, the whole like, oh, new games, new graphics. Like, okay, so you buy the console and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have these amazing graphics. But do people actually stop to think about whether your TV can even give you everything that console can offer?
Probably not, but to them it's just, oh, the next generation console automatically, oh, better graphics.
But see, a better selling like one of the selling points is, oh, you get better graphics. But what if it's like, yeah, okay, you're gonna get 4K graphics. What if your TV isn't 4K? You're essentially you paid for something that you can't use to its full extent.
Yeah.
And what if you never get a 4K TV? At that point, like, I mean, because they're kind of expensive if you really think about it.
Well, of course, that's just one of the things that people
look forward to. I can't afford a 4K TV. And I don't know, I guess to me that maybe that might be a deterrent from trying to jump into the next console right now. Because I don't, I have my Xbox One S. I have a TV that can, that can utilize everything the Xbox One S has to offer. So I guess until I get a 4K TV, then I'll consider getting the Xbox or the PlayStation.
And now there's 8K, and I think something even beyond now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 4K is starting to become like old sauce now. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just the rambling of an old person.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess you guys let us know in the comments. Are you going to be one of those people to get the new console? If so, have you gone to one of these launches before in the past? Tell us how it was. Like, were the lines crazy? Did you fight someone? Did you witness a fight? We would love to know.
Did any of you work at a chain like Target, Walmart, and ever experience any of that like console release madness back in the day? If so, let me know. I'm curious to see if we can swap like
war stories. Oh man.
But thank you guys for indulging us, for letting us rant. But we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we hope you guys come back to the Oasis.
The Entertainment Oasis. Peace out, guys.
What was that?
Yeah, I was like, give a thumbs up. Like, peace out.
A Bill Clinton thumbs up.
Exactly.